you've been giving him an F every time, so let's just get it out of the way, Bobby. What's your grade on Bob Iger?
Yeah, F. Look.
Sorry, Mr. Iger. What did you do in summer school? Because I don't think you earned any new grades.
So I mean, will he ever leave? And who's next in line? I mean, to me,
shower.
like, who's it? Kevin.
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast, presented by NotClub33.com. We're back with grades for Mr. Iger. His third time getting grades from us here. It is fall 2023. He's been back as CEO for 3 full quarters now. My name is Steve Rhodes, alongside of Pat Neistat.
What's up?
Mrs. Becky Wells.
Hey, I saw Bobby's eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Disney cynic, Mr. Bobby Burchin, she's referring to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The insomnia is kicking in. God, it's like I gotta get up early or something. Oh,
yeah, we pushed you a little hard on this episode, but hey, you get to go first per usual. And you've been giving him an F every time, so let's just get it out of the way, Bobby. What's your grade on Bob Iger?
Yeah, F. Look. Things have just gotten demonstrably worse for the Disney company since he's taken over. And every time that an announcement is made, even with the D23 stuff, we talked about it the last couple shows, it's been mostly pie in the sky bullshit concepts that haven't really don't have any real like plans or anything concrete to them. And everything that is concrete, stuff that either we've already known or we just don't care about. So from especially from a parks perspective, F. From the rest of the company's perspective, the share price has dipped to $70. It hasn't been that low since the 90s. And that's not adjusted for inflation or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just literally performing demonstrably worse as a company. I know Pat has brought up that Elemental made bucks. Guardians of the Galaxy did okay at the box office, but they're not drawing the big eyeballs and numbers. Half the movies that they release, I don't know, are being released at this point. Whether it's Elemental or the
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. I mean,
Yeah.
what a terribly fun movie. I mean, at the very least, like, it should be released now when this episode is being released, like right in the heart of Halloween season. That would be the time to do
It's
it.
when it goes to Disney Plus.
Right, but who cares? Like if you're gonna make money at the box office, which is what they're measuring those movies off of still, they're not measuring it off of streaming numbers. Like you got to release it at the right time if it's going to be a spooky movie. Release it during October or at least September or something. Instead of releasing it in July, what the hell is that? Like, there's so many decisions that like are common sense decisions that are just being made poorly at this point. And that's the only way that I can describe it. And plus you go back the recent CNBC article that was released about Iger and Chapek and everything like that. I'm kind of looking back at Chapek with a little bit of rose-colored glasses, not in the sense that he was the right leader for Disney. He wasn't. But in the sense that, like, Iger is not the guy at this point. He's not been making the right decisions for a number of years, but starting with the Fox deal, really trying to promote Chapek and elevating him to that CEO role. I just, like, there's been bad decision after bad decision by Iger here, and he's not turning it around at this point. And the stock price reflects that. So I can't give him anything but an F.
Yeah, Pat, I know you're into the stocks, so at $70, I'm sure you bought some and loaded up. But
no,
what are your?
I think it's hovering around in the 80s, like low 80s.
It depends on when you're watching the show. So
it's low, and I mean, considering I think it was at its height like 160, 170,
159,
like
160, something like
that. So yeah, but I think the problem with that is, like, where's the growth for the Disney company? I mean, Iger has reduced a lot of the debt, especially in the streaming part. So for me, I'm gonna bring his. I think last time I gave him, which was the plan for sure.
Yeah.
For me, I think I gave him a B last time. I'm gonna go C. I I think that like announcing stuff for the parks, like big grand ideas, it's going to take longer than we want. That's going to take longer probably than a year because they develop plans. They got to figure. They all have to agree. It's not so simple where he makes a decision and this is it.
Right.
This is going there. The president of Walt Disney World probably has to agree. The people at Animal Kingdom have to agree. So there's multiple layers to this. So I think it's just going to take a while before we actually get concrete plans. And this is the way it works. And I wish he could just have a magic wand and say, "I'm the CEO. We're putting, a new land in Animal Kingdom." It just doesn't work that way, I don't think. So a C, because I feel like maybe he could push it faster, but I don't know. And as far as the company goes, it's probably a C as well. I mean, they're kind of in the stagnant position. He's going to be there for what, another 2 more years or 3 more years?
At least 2.
Under that extension, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, will he ever leave? And who's next in line? I mean, to me, shower. Like, who's it? Kevin Mayer and Staggs, they brought back as advisors. So I feel like one of those two guys are going to be the next CEO because they were potential candidates in the first place, and I think those would be one of the two guys that would take his spot.
I still think it's Mr. Outside hire personally, but that's just me. I don't know.
So for me, it needs to be somebody that understands the company and has been in the company. It's a big company, and there's a lot of inner workings of it. It's not just the theme parks. It's just not the studios. Unless they sell off some of this, like ABC and Hulu and ESPN, you need somebody that understands those businesses.
Becky.
I think I have to go.
C-ish, yeah, right? Yeah.
I really feel like, I'm sorry, Mr. Iger, what did you do in summer school? Because I don't think you earned any new grades. I feel like a C is also appropriate. I see lots of not only new announcements, but new things actually happening and opening internationally. Yeah. And when we look at Disney World, which is our focus in this grading process, there ain't shit. No. Like there's small changes here and there. There's been improvements on things. There's been
Tron,
but there's also been a lot of really wild choices Tron.
He announced that, didn't he?
Probably, yeah. I guess he did. Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, the first time.
Yeah. So
hey, JPEG gave us Moana in Epcot, so that's cool.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Well, we don't have it yet.
It's maybe coming in a couple weeks. We're getting
a couple days.
Yeah. I'll be here for sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I just think the biggest theme park that there is, and not really any big stuff. There's been a few, like I said, a few adjustments. There's definitely been changes of how Park Pass, all of these things for annual pass holder. There's these little things which technically were on our very first grading issues on our report cards originally. But in terms of at a much higher level, only looking theme parks, everything's not in America. It looks amazing, but nothing here. And then, and some of that's not even owned all the way by Disney. So
I think that Zootopia land's kind of goofy looking, if you ask me. But
the Frozen lands look freaking fire, though.
Yeah, the roller coaster.
That looks cool.
That looks dope. Yeah, and
you think that's like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train? That particular ride? It almost looks like it's similar to it, right?
Yeah,
it does. It does. I'm just saying it visually.
Yeah.
So you're giving them a C for Walt Disney World, Becky? Is that your feeling as an overall company too, or?
I do think overall, because there's enough lows that haven't been course corrected, that it balances out the things that I think are stunning in other areas of the company. So I really feel like he's just riding it out.
I said this before we started recording, that he's like the most status quo person ever when it comes to Disney right now. And he really needs to get like a Walton Roy situation going on at the company somehow, have the creative head call Joe Rody. What the fuck's Joe Rody doing? Somebody call him up, get him in there, start throwing creative shit against the wall, and then have one of his pencil pushers figure out how to afford it, and then just have
the creative though. That's what he looks at himself as. He has a massive ego. I mean,
that's probably the problem, and he's good at talking to us and saying things to us and relaying things to us, but he's not the guy that's going to come up with...
He's the supporter of the creative.
When he stepped down as CEO and just was a chief head of the board, his role was head of creative.
Yeah. He might support it, but that's not what he is.
And then he wouldn't give Chapek... Think about this guy. He wouldn't give Chapek his office, the CEO office, because it had a shower in it. And he liked showering.
Well, Disney doesn't have enough money to build another shower, Pat.
Isn't that fucking weird?
I wouldn't give Chapek a damn thing weird? Either.
No, it's absolutely fucking strange. But there's like...
What's up with this guy?
I'm
ego.
I'm going to go ahead and give my grade, but...
I'm sorry.
He's just been status quo. I've been in the C range the whole time. I think overall the company, he's a C minus. He just is what he is. For the parks, he's made some things better, taken some of the parking fees and the reservations away, and he's starting to update some rides, which is nice. Like fucking Test Track does need that, so thank goodness
all the
we have a
things we
sponsorship.
Technically asked for.
Yeah, so I'll give him a C plus from a parks perspective, but he just needs to end up being the mouthpiece for the company and let other people fucking run it, because for me it just seems like nothing is going to actually sway one way or the other, because we don't have that creative energy creating, and then I don't know what's going on operationally.
I don't think he's out. I don't think he'll ever want to let go.
Think
about it. They hired a new CEO, and the whole time Iger undermined him the entire time.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And it's not like he didn't have a good reason. Exactly. It's not that I'm supporting Chapek here so much as I just don't think that Iger was right either. Like, both can be correct at that point, or both can be wrong.
But who's to say the next guy gets hired doesn't do the same thing to them?
It's going to have to die off.
That's where those board seats need to start changing. That
article that they wrote about Iger and Chapek just really, I guess, triggered me a little bit about Iger. Just like his massive ego.
Don't be so hands-on with the hiring process, and then also when you step aside.
It's my greatest mistake.
Step aside.
Was Chapek.
Well, he's not wrong.
What about the Fox deal?
The Fox deal was probably his greatest.
It drove you into
Chapek
massive debt.
Yeah. Yeah. Chapek was number 2. But I don't know. We keep grading this guy. I don't know that it's going to really need to be something we continue to do. We'll do a full year of report cards so that we'll have a full year's worth. So we'll get back to him this winter. But I mean, quite honestly,
what mine is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going to change in between now and December, but hey, we'll do it again just because we're going to at least give him the old college try here.
Epcot will be open then.
Oh yeah, all of Epcot. Yeah. So then there we go. I'll go from a C plus to a C plus plus for all you computer programmers out there. If you like this episode, hit that like button. It really helps out our channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. That lifts us up in YouTube's algorithms. Turn on those notifications so you know when we upload videos, and those comments. Just let us know what you guys want to see on the channel. We kind of we like to listen to you guys, get some ideas about what we should be talking about on this very show. So for everybody here at Not Club 33, have a great day.